as we lay down, we will start by checking in with the breath. Just notice the breath without trying to change anything just yet. Notice whereabouts in the body you're breathing. And just allow the breath to start to become a little bit slower, a little bit deeper. As we're concentrating on the breath, let's take a scan through the body from the very top of the head down to the toes. Just notice any areas of tension, any niggles. Without judgment, I mean, they're absolutely fine. And we'll try to ease them out as we go through today. And this week is apparently Back Care Awareness Week. So we will be doing some back bends, trying to strengthen the back. And just easing the spine out as well. And then check in with you. How are you feeling today? Cares, concerns, just allow those to float down to the side of your mat. And then bring your focus back to your breathing. On your next exhale, hug your knees in towards the chest. And just rock from side to side. Nice and gently. Maybe take both knees in a circle. So you're gently massaging the lower back. Take your circles one way and then the other. And then let's just separate those knees out and get some hip rotation going on. Take the knees out in circles and then back in. Good girl, sweetheart. Good girl. And then again, take those circles the other way. Lovely stuff. Finding some stillness. Hug your knees in. And just place the left foot down on the mat. Raising the right foot up towards the sky. And just hold on to the leg behind the thigh. And we want to straighten the leg as much as possible. So we're getting a nice long stretch all the way down the back of the leg. Keeping the toe flexed so the sole is pointing towards the ceiling. And don't worry kind of whereabouts in the air your leg is. We want it nice and straight just so we're getting a nice big stretch. Oh, sweetheart. And maybe while the foot's free, let's just do a little ankle rotation to take the foot in circles one way and then another. Lovely stuff. And then again, finding some stillness. Hug that knee in. Place the foot over. No, actually, no. Hug your knee in, sorry. Straighten that left leg out. And with the left hand on the right knee, just ease the right knee over towards the left hand side, taking the right arm out long along the floor. So you're kind of in a half recovery position. If your right arm, if you've not got kind of floor space to lay the right arm out, just take the right hand behind the head and take the gaze towards the right. Nice little twist for the spine. Bring the head back to centre. Bring the right knee back up through centre. Hug the knee in and place the foot down on the floor. And then bring the left foot in. Hug the left knee in. And again, we're going to stretch that left leg up. Sole of the foot pointing towards the ceiling. Getting a stretch all the way down the back of the leg. And again, if the leg is kind of closer to the floor to get it straight, that's absolutely fine. Just go to where's comfortable for you. And let's take that foot in some circles as well. Get the ankle moving. And the other. And then coming back to some stillness. Hug the left knee in, straighten the right leg down the mat. Right hand to left knee. Ease the knee over towards the right hand side. Oh, I've got a sofa in the way. And then take that left arm out along the floor, or bending at the elbow, take the hand behind the head, gazing towards the left. Bring the head back to centre, bring the knee back up through centre, hug the knee in and place both feet flat on the mat, knees bent. So feet are about hip distance apart, and just, have the feet where's comfortable for you. So we're going to go into a very easy bridge to begin with, to start to warm the spine up. So we're pushing through our feet, lifting the pelvis up, coming up onto our shoulders on an inhale, and then exhale, roll back down. Hips touch the floor last. We're going to do it a few times. We're going to roll up from the very base of the pelvis, coming up onto the shoulders, pushing through those feet. We're engaging the glutes, and then rolling back down nice and slowly. One more time, pushing through the feet, engage those glutes as you bring the pelvis up, coming up onto the shoulders, and then release down. And in fact, let's do that 2 more times. Pushing through the feet, engage the glutes. Come up onto shoulders, and then back down. And as you come back down, just kind of tuck the pelvis the other way, so you really kind of push that pelvis into the floor. And then as we come back up, we round, or we straighten the tailbone ever so slightly, coming up onto the shoulders, and exhale all the way back down. Now we've done that 2 more times. Clasp the hands behind the head And let's ease the knees out either side, window wipering the knees either side. Just really kind of getting some movement into the spine. Lovely stuff. So once you've done this enough, turn over onto the side that you feel most comfortable on and make your way up to seated. Bring your leggings up. I think it's time to remove layers. It's actually starting to get a bit warmer. And from here we'll do a couple of twists either side and then move into our cat-cow onto all fours. So taking the left hand to the right knee, right hand behind, so seated in any way is comfortable for you. So I'm obviously cross-legged, but find what's good for you. Right hand behind. On an inhale, we lengthen up through the spine, and exhale, take the twist around towards the right. And on each inhale, we'll just make sure that the spine is nice and long and that we're not leaning back into that hand behind us. And we're kind of moving from the stomach muscles, and then we're moving up into the upper part of the back. And then inhale, untwist yourself, coming back through to center. And we'll take it the other side, so right hand, left knee, left hand behind. On your next inhale, lengthening up through the spine, and exhaling, taking the twist round. And again, finding where's good for you. Keeping the spine nice and long, and we're not leaning back into the hand. On your next inhale, come back through to center. And we will go over our knees and come up into our tabletop position. So knees are under hips, wrists are under shoulders. Ooh. And on an inhale, we drop the stomach, look forward or up, opening the chest up, and we will just stay here for a few breaths. And here we want to kind of be starting to pull the stomach muscles in, but we want to have the shoulders away from the ears, shoulder blades drawing towards each other down the back. And then exhale round through the back, dropping the gaze. And again, we'll stay here for a couple of breaths. Again, just trying to ease the tummy button up towards the spine. Inhale, drop the stomach, look forward or up. And we'll take this into our flow. So exhale, round through the back, dropping the gaze. Inhale. Dropping the stomach, chest open, looking forward or up, and exhale, round through the back. So take this at your own breathing pace. And just explore your cat-cow as well. So just find what feels good for you to just loosen the spine up. Make it feel a little bit nicer. You might want to sway, might want to wiggle. Anything that feels good for you. Lovely stuff. Finding some stillness. Bring the left hand, actually no, leave the left hand where it is, sorry. Raise the right arm up on an inhale. And exhale, bring the right hand underneath the left arm, threading the needle, and come down onto your shoulders. Just going to sort my leggings out. And you're using that left hand just to open the chest up a little bit. Pushing through the left hand, come back up onto all fours. And we'll take that the other side, so raise the left arm up, inhale. And exhale, post left arm under the right, coming down onto your left shoulder. Using the right hand just to ease that chest open into a twist. Push through that hand, coming up onto all fours. Lovely stuff. So from here, just bring your right foot forward into a low lunge. So knee is nicely over the ankle, sinking down into the hips a little bit. We're going to bring our hands overhead, palms together. So reaching up, inhale, lengthen up through the spine. Before we go any further, engage that back glute. So you're kind of tucking the tailbone out under slightly, and you'll feel that front thigh really engage. Tummy button towards the spine. Inhaling, again lengthening through the spine, and exhaling, just easing those hands back. So we're coming into a bit of a back bend, but making sure that every kind of glute is really engaged so that our lower back doesn't feel any compromised. We're really kind of reaching up with those hands. We're lengthening through the spine before we take the hands back. Lovely stuff. And exhale, bring the hands down, fold over that front leg, palms either side of the foot, tuck the back toes, lift up into a downward facing dog. Hips nice and high. Walk your dog. So pedal each foot out if you want to. Just ease the legs out. And then find some stillness. Shoulder blades down the back, lengthening out through the spine. On your next inhale, bring the left foot behind the left hand and drop that right knee to the mat. And we're going to do the same this side. Okay. So from here, engage the right glute. Really kind of try to tuck your tailbone under ever so slightly. Arms come overhead, palms together. Sink down into that hip a little bit more if you wish to. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. Engage everything, tummy button towards the spine. And exhale, just ease those hands back. Coming into a crescent lunge. And wobble and fall into the dog. And again. And exhale. Bring the hands down either side of that front foot. Plant the hands and take it back into a downward facing dog. Are we good? And from down dog, let's bring our shoulders over our wrists into a plank. Hold it for 3, 2, 1. Drop the knees. And we're going to lower all the way down to the mat. So from here, fingertips are under shoulders, so we keep the hands where they are. Push down through the pelvis, so push the pelvis really into your mat. Engage those thighs. As soon as you kind of try and really push the pelvis into the mat, you feel your glutes engage. From there, we want to inhale, lengthen through the spine and bring the chest forward, coming into our baby cobra. And then exhale, release out. Wiggle it out a little bit. And we're going to do the same. So push that pelvis into the floor, engage the thighs, engage the glutes. Inhale, lengthen through the spine, shoulders up, down and away from the ears, shoulder blades coming together, chest forward and open. And release out. Exhale, release back down to the floor, wiggle it all out a bit. Hello, are you coming to join me? Hello. And we'll do that one more time. So, thighs engage, pelvis roots down into the mat. Inhale, lengthening up through the spine, open the chest up, shoulder blades together. Daisy's helping. And we're going to hold it for 3, 2, 1. And before you release out, just take your hands away and you should be able to hold it without collapsing. Lovely stuff. And then release out. And in fact, let's bring it into a child's pose. Have your knees together, feet together. You just trumped in my face. Hips towards heels. And chest drapes over the knees, forehead comes to rest, either on hands, fists, or on the mat. You're not helping me, sweetheart. I want to do this. I want to do that. I do. Lovely stuff. Coming up to kneeling. Kind of kneel up. Bringing the hands onto the buttocks. Elbows kind of squished together, so we're automatically opening the chest up. Go on, up you go. And again, we're engaging those glutes. Engaging the tummy muscles, so the stomach button kind of aims towards the spine. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. Bring the hips forward. Allow the tailbone to lengthen as you do it. So don't just bring the hips forward and squash back like that. You want to kind of bring the hips forward as you lengthen through the spine and as you lengthen through the stomach muscles, if that makes sense. Because if you just allow yourself to go like that, that's really hurting my back. So we lengthen through the spine as we bring the hips forward. And then to come out, we bring the thighs together, we release out and come forward. Ping it forward a little bit. Hello, beautiful. Hello. You can't settle, can you? So we'll do that one more time. Hello. And in fact, take your hands kind of right underneath the buttocks, so kind of where the little crease is, and just feel your glutes engage when you kind of pull them together. And then again, we're going to lengthen up through the spine, bring the elbows towards each other and the hips forward ever so slightly to where's comfortable. So if you're feeling compression or pain kind of in the lower back, ease off, or just really make sure you're kind of really engaging those glutes. Again, we want a nice long spine to be able to achieve a back bend. Lovely stuff. Stomach muscles, pull in the thighs towards each other and spring out. And just allow hips to come to heels, and we'll take it into another child's pose. So knees together, feet together, forehead towards the floor, arms either side, into a nice little ball. You pong. And then take a few breaths here because I've got to let the dog out. 2 seconds. Go on. I know you smell. Lovely, I do apologise for that. Coming back up to kneeling. Trying to think if we do anything else. Let's take it into one more downward facing dog. So bring the hands forward, tuck the toes, bring the hips nice and high. Straighten those legs out, straighten that back out. So palms or hands, fingers are evenly spaced. Shoulder blades again, just drawing together down the back. Legs as straight as they want to be. Doesn't matter if the knees are slightly bent, we want a nice straight back rather than straight legs, if that makes sense. And then from here, come down onto all fours. Bring the feet round and come to sit down on the mat. So knees bent. You're not gonna like me for this one. So we're gonna go into our boat, which, go on, you can. Go on. All right, then don't. So hug your thighs in, walk the toes in until you come to balance on your hips. And you hopefully are feeling the toes lifting up. So play it. If you want to keep the toes on the floor, keep the toes on the floor. If you want to go a little bit further, bring the feet up to knee height with your balance. Shoulders down and away from the ears again. We're kind of keeping the shoulder blades moving towards each other down the back. So we've got a nice open chest. Tummy button again is traveling towards the spine. Nice deep breaths. From here, your challenge, if you wish to accept it, is to release the hands without collapsing in the back. So we want to keep the back nice and straight. Shoulders open. Good stuff. At any point, hug in, take the feet on the floor. So bring the feet to the floor. Rearrange if you need to. Hug your thighs in again and walk the feet in. We'll do boat pose one more time. So toes, feet up to knee height. So boat pose is pretty much an all over engagement. Engage the thighs, stomach muscles, back muscles, it hurts basically. So you can either release the hands here, or if you want to experiment with straightening those legs, you can straighten those legs and release out without compromising anything, or just stay with the legs bent. Your choice. Hug your knees in, bring the feet underneath. No, feet not underneath. So Bring the feet down to the floor, knees bent, and from here, hands either side of the knees. Keep the back nice and straight, and we're going to lower down in one straight line to the mat. Keep those stomach muscles engaged. Lovely. Knees are still bent, feet hip distance apart. Just draw those feet in towards the pelvis. No further than kind of, if you can just about touch the heels with the tips of your fingers, that's far enough. From here, we're going to do our bridge like we did at the beginning, but we're going to do it more to kind of get into bridge rather than to warm the spine up. So we're pushing through the feet. Before we move anything, let's just lift our toes up to really feel the 3 corners of the feet on the floor. So big toe ball joint, little toe ball joint, and heel. Once we can feel them, release the toes back down. And you push through the feet. So I'm already pushing through the feet and I can feel my pelvis starting to lift up. Push through those feet, lift the pelvis up, come up onto your shoulders, and just snuggle your shoulders underneath a little bit more so you've got a nice free neck. Really engage those glutes when you come up into bridge to avoid any kind of compression or pain in the lower back. The thighs are engaged and pulling towards each other so our knees aren't kind of splaying out either side. And our tailbone is really kind of lengthened. So we're getting, again, a nice long spine. Holding it for 3. Really lift those hips up, engage those glutes. 2. Thighs are pulling together. 1. And we lower down vertebra by vertebra. Finishing with the tailbone. And we just let that tailbone sink into the floor a little bit before returning it to neutral. And again, let's take those knees either side, window wiper ring, new word, that one, the knees either side. Lovely stuff. Coming back to some stillness. We're going to go into Shavasana or relaxation. So if you want to grab a warmer clothing, grab a warmer clothing. And we will obviously take it to lie down on the mat once you're ready. So in Shavasana, you've got plenty of options how you want to lie. So you can lie on your front if that's easier or more comfortable for you. If your lower back is a little bit painful, by all means tent the knees with the feet flat on the floor. Or otherwise, legs are out long, feet are at least hip distance apart, if not a little bit wider, with the feet relaxing out either side. Hands are on the floor, or the arms are on the floor, away from the body, palms facing up. We gently close the eyes, checking in with a breath once more. Noticing whether the breath has changed at all throughout our practice. It may not have, that's absolutely fine. And checking in with our breath as well, whether that's changed. I just said our breath, I mean our body. Checking in with our body once more. Just notice how the heart is beating, whether it's got faster because of our practice or whether again it's just stayed the same. All without judgment. And taking our focus back to our breathing. Allow the breath to become slower and deeper. And we'll start to count each breath. So inhaling and exhaling counts as one breath. Inhaling, exhale, 2. And continue counting on your own. Try to get up to 10. Your mind, thoughts, feelings can and will arise. Doesn't matter. Just notice them, label them as a thought or a feeling. No need to get involved with them. Don't worry that you might have got distracted. If that happens, just bring your focus, your awareness back to your breathing and back to the counting. If you can remember where you stopped counting, start again from there. If you've forgotten, it's fine. Just start again at 1. Just focusing all your breathing, all your attention on the breath, and on the counting. Get up to 10, start again at 1. Thoughts will come along and try to distract you. Doesn't matter. Bring your awareness back to the breathing and back to the counting. Now you can stop counting and just let your breathing return to normal. Allow any thoughts to race into your mind. Again, just don't get drawn into them. Allow them to do whatever they want to do. Take a few moments just to be in the moment. And just becoming aware of the sound of your own breathing. Bringing your attention back into the body. Taking your attention to your fingertips, into the fingers, into the toes. Gently starting to move the fingers and the toes. Bring your attention to the neck, moving the head from side to side to release the neck. Start to make gentle micro movements wherever feels good within the body. Taking a full body stretch if you wish to. Before drawing the knees in towards the body. Giving them a good hug in. Rocking from side to side. Before coming to rest on your right hand side. Making your way up to seated. When you're ready, on your next inhale, sweep the arms overhead and bring the hands back down to heart center, bowing slightly forward. Namaste. The light in me recognizes the light in you. Thank you very much.